Spider's back! Yeah! You're damn right it's cool. Real cool. And a real jewel. Wanna believe it? Hey! In the red zone. Not the dead zone. School. Rules. You wanna believe it? That rules. Hey! It's real cool. The coolest. Real jewel. Don't want to believe it, it is. That rules. Powerful offensive tool. That rules. Exciting new CFL rule. That's from Spider's CFL Red Zone Rule Facebook page. Want to check it out. Okay, my son and I are going to update it. Sorry we got a dark picture. I don't know. It's a very muggy, cloudy day today. And we'll just make do what we have. And it happens sometimes in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I'm back after a month. I'm sorry, but it's better than not being back at all, right? So please subscribe. I never asked people to subscribe, even when I had a lot more viewers. And I hope you come back. And I'm sorry. I've been, you know, there's been some issues at my property with my pool that I had to deal with. It took me over 3 weeks to resolve. There was a leak in one of the main lines, an in-ground pool. It's an older pool, and had to dig up, you know, dig it up and fix it. I came up with a method, and after trying several times to fix it, and then had to come up with another method. So, and you know, so it was a schematic, using my ingenuity, my brain, you know, and at the end, after 3 weeks, my best friend came over and we put it together and fixed it and ran the pump, and boom, knock on wood, no leaks. And I need a new liner next year. That's at a big expense, but I did my 46th swim today, and that's my tie. I tied my record. I like to hit 50, but I'm closing the pool down next week, so it may be next year with the new liner that I do that. But let's get back to the session. Good to see you all, and Brad McDonald and Mr. McLeod, Eric. So come on back, and I want to read your views. Come on, you know, make some comments. Come on back. I need everybody back. And this session is going to be somewhat unique because I don't think I ever did a session like this. I did some tidbits of this, but not like a full session on why there's so many Canadians, if they're supposed to be Canadians and so patriotic now, majority of them watching the NFL, American brand of football, and not our own brand of football that we invented in our own country. Now, I'll ask you this. What other country in the world would not support and run down their own brand in their own country? Is there another country? There's no country in the world that would ever do it. You think Americans would run down the NFL? You think they would run down their college football? You think they'd run down their own brand of football, the NFL? Or or Apple, like we did BlackBerry? There's something wrong with this country, and it's very, very disturbing. And you can see what's going on in this country and who's in this country. And to say that we're so patriotic, well, we're not. We're not. Because if we were so patriotic and we're so Canadian, CFL stadiums will be full, not empty. Okay? Not with an abundance of empty seats everywhere. And yes, Labor Day games, the classics, you know, there were 2 sellouts, but Calgary had a big crowd, almost a sellout. But they've reduced capacity there. But still, the numbers were down on TV because they're watching. Well, NFL came next week, but they weren't even watching our Labor Day classics in our own country. CFL Labor Day Classics between Hamilton Tiger Cats and Toronto Argonauts and Calgary Stampeders and Edmonton Eskimos and Saskatchewan Roughriders and Hamilton Tiger Cats. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So the ratings were down like 200,000 views. It's insane. So we're not patriotic at all, and we're not Canadian. These people, you're not Canadian. If you don't support the CFL and you run it into the ground and you support because you're so brainwashed NFL with all their super hype, and it's super overrated, super hyped, and it's all because of money. They think because they make so much money, tens of millions of dollars at quarterbacks, that they're so superior and they're so great. Well, I'll tell you something. If you put the best NFL quarterbacks on a CFL field, they'd be bums. They wouldn't be able to do anything. That field in the NFL is so tiny, it's almost, you could gag. It's laughable. Do the math. Do the math. All right, here's an NFL field, here's a CFL field. Okay? Guess what? CFL field is 48% larger than an NFL field. And the NFL field is basically outdoor arena football. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. No yard off the ball, so no width on both sides, because it's only 53 yards versus 65 yards. The width is 100 to the goal lines in yards. Ours is 110 to the goal lines. Their end zone is so wee you need a magnifying glass to see it. 10 yards in either side, of course, and the CFL is 20 yards. So on a 5-yard line in the CFL, you can see a 35-yard beautiful pass in the corner, and with our larger end zone, it makes, when you're in the red zone, makes some really nice passes, deep, like long throws into the corner. Really exciting touchdowns, and what do the NFL do? If you can't get a touchdown with 4 downs in the red zone in an NFL game, you should go home, because you could run the ball 4 times every time, get a touchdown, right? And you basically have to underhand the ball. They can't even throw it. They can't even extend their arm back. They have to basically toss. A kid could play a quarterback in the NFL in the end zone because they could toss the ball. That's all you got to do. It's ridiculous. The game is ridiculous, and it's so overrated. They're fair catch. There's no special teams in the NFL. None. Okay? None. And if you can't kick a field goal in the NFL because there's no angles, because the width's only 53 yards, barely, you should go home. You should go home if you can't kick a field goal in the NFL. It's ridiculous. CFL, there's way more angles. Same with throwing the ball. Like, you have to have some strong arm, some accurate arm in our field, being 48% larger than an NFL field. Okay? And that is the math. Do the math. Very simple. 110 versus 100. The length to the goal line. 20 in the end zones versus 10 in the NFL. 20 in the CFL. 65-yard wide field in the CFL versus barely 53 wide in the NFL. Do the math. Get a calculator, do the math. It's 48%, the CFL field, larger. Okay, but it's almost 50% larger than an NFL field. That's why I call it NFL arena football. And you know what? There's so many brainwashed people, and they're not Canadian. You can't call these people Canadian, that believe an NFL field, seriously. I've talked to young people that run down the CFL. Young people, in their late teen, early 20s. They're so brainwashed. They so brainwashed NFL football, and they're not Canadian. This is our youth. To run down our own brand of football in our own country and don't even watch it, and you wouldn't believe the names they call and how they run it down. They're just awful. And they're so ignorant. They don't know a thing about our game. They believe, they told me, NFL field's way bigger than the CFL. Oh yeah, that's how brainwashed they are. But I'm very disappointed in TSN. The Labor Day games, because it was golf, and they pushed it to TSN 2. Imagine. And by the way, where are you? Where are you, the new Commissioner Johnson? Where are you? What are you doing? Where are you? Look, you know what? Not bragging, but I should be the commissioner of the CFL. Then you would see changes like you wouldn't believe. It's just unbelievable to watch our game on Labor Day and see a big crowd and have these big blank end zones. Are you out of your mind because of what, your soccer team? Well, you don't take the circle, the soccer big circle, round circle, you don't take that away, right? Why do you take our locals away at center field? I sent an email to you 4 times there, McNeil, Calgary Stampeders CEO, Canadian ratio, guaranteed player. That's what you were. And you don't even acknowledge it, okay? You don't even send me an email back because you're a wimp. Where's the Calgary Stampeders logo that always was at center field? What, you won't put it out there because of what? A Calgary women's soccer team that's playing there? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? When Stampeders have paid rent there, the owners of Stampeders over the years have paid so much rent to McMahon Stadium, basically kept it afloat, and you don't allow them to put the Stampeders logo at center field? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And there's hardly any logos. Like, I don't know what Edmonton's doing. Come on, Edmonton, get with the program. Get your EE in your end zones for Eskimos and bring back the Edmonton Eskimos. Enough with this Elks. It sounds like, I don't know, Yelks or Yucks or Ducks or I don't know what it sounds. I don't know what it sounds like, but it doesn't sound good. And you destroyed the franchise and you walked away a lot of your loyal customers that were season ticket holders for years. New owner, you see that? That stands for Edmonton Eskimos. Bring the name back. Screw Randy Ambrosie, he's gone, the leftist. Okay? And Johnson's the same. Get rid of him. Fire him the first year. You know, because he's a Randy Ambrosie 2.0. I can tell you that much. You know? So bring back, okay, the Edmonton Eskimos. Okay? Bring back the Edmonton Eskimos. Look all the paraphernalia I got. Bring back the Edmonton Eskimos, and I know I'm right. And put your logo EE in the end zone instead of a stupid line. The anniversary's over. 75 years, whatever you had there for. Get rid of them. It looks terrible. That's what I'm saying. I wish I was commissioner. I'd make it mandatory. And if it meant that we had to pay them to put our logos at center field, their CFL team logos, and in the red zone, we'd give them write them a check. Whatever it takes. You have to market the game, you clown Johnson. Sorry to call you a clown, but like you have to earn your stripes. If you earn your stripes, you won't be called a clown. You know, I probably shouldn't call you a clown. I should call you incompetent or whatever. But you don't know what you're doing. I know you just got there. Well, do something. Do something. And you work for TSN, the hen guy. You allow TSN to push CFL games to TSN2 on Labor Day. Are you kidding me? And you've done it more than that. And by the way, you didn't even have Labor Days on CTV. I think you might have had on CTV. Maybe one. I don't know if you had any. I don't even know you had any. And what happened to the weeks you skipped for CFL game? Yeah, and all it's like NFL on CTV, it's ridiculous. It starts on Sunday at whatever time, 1 or 2, our time, it goes right up to 12 o'clock. Are you kidding me? Enough is enough of this NFL garbage. It's outdoor arena football, and the quarterbacks are overrated. The players are overrated. There's 36 Canadians playing in the NFL. That's why you got to get rid of the Canadian ratio, which I'm going to do a session on. I'm doing 3 sessions, by the way, because I've been away. I know it's dark. There's nothing I can do. I can bring in more light. Probably next session I have to bring in more light. Okay? Ambient light to bring in here because it's too dark. Sorry about that. No, it's not my glasses. It's not my tinted glasses, but I'm very sorry about that. Yes, you know, we have, like he was the president of TSN, and he's allowing this to go on, and there was a blank 3 weeks of no CFL games on CTV. You have to have a game, at least a game of the week, 1 game on CTV on a Saturday. You have to do it. It's ridiculous. But like, he's not doing a good job at all. And where is he? Like Ballsy said, they got rid of, fired him at the Sports Cage. He was announcer of the Riders games, home games on radio and away games. He traveled, and they fired him, and he's got his own podcast, and he just said, he's right. And he said, where are you, Johnson? Where are you? Where's the commissioner? Like, what are you doing? Playing tiddlywinks? What are you doing? Like, I wish I was commissioner. I'm telling you, I could do that job like tenfold. And I could do it well. And I would make huge changes. And you know what? No Canadian Players Association would be pushing me around. Because I'd be going to the owners. And I'd want power. I'd want leadership and power over the owners. And because if you bring in some competent person that knows what they're doing, knows about marketing, knows how to run a business, knows how to sell a product, knows how to sell CFL football, and features and benefits, like my CFL Red Zone rule. And my CFL Red Zone rule would be adopted, and it would have been adopted if Greg Johnson would have stayed, because he had it set up for new CFL Innovation Rules Committee, which never happened, right? And he told me he had the people that he had that was going on, and they're all sold on my rule, and it would have got passed. And what happened? They fired him because Jeffrey Ordridge was scared that he was going to take his job, and he was no good for nothing. Sorry, Jeffrey, you were no good. You shouldn't have been there. Another incompetent. You don't know what you're doing. But what I would make CFL home fields mandatory, and no excuses. They'd have to have their logos. You have to dress it up. You have to have the logos, and I'd have them colored in too, okay, like they do in the NFL, the end zone, with their logos and their logos at center field. That's the way it would have to be, and that would be and the ball. I'd take the lines off the ball. And if you don't want to take the lines off the ball, make the lines black then. The blend, because black goes well with dark brown. If you don't want to take them, but that doesn't make sense, I would take them right off, okay? Because that's more like high school and college football. This is supposed to be professional football. Also, what I'm going to do a session on the Canadian ratio. The Canadian ratio will have to be completely abolished, and starting ratio and the roster ratio would be completely abolished, and they could have a practice roster ratio with Canadian players that you develop. But Canadian players will have to make the team, okay, on merit, like the Americans have to, not because of their passport, not because they have no business being on the field like now. Many of them, I'm sorry to say, you have injuries, teams are finished, okay, with the Canadian ratio. It's the Canadian ratio that's ruling the CFL as well, okay, and making the league very non-competitive, because you can't have a league where you're dictated to that you have to have half of your players Canadian when not 90% of them or more aren't even good enough to be on the roster. Canadian starter ratio, that was 7, that's 8 now, and they keep lying about that. It's 8, Dave Naylor, you don't know anything. There's another one, thinks he knows everything, doesn't even know, keeps saying 7, it's 8. Read the CFR rules, it's 8 now, okay? And that has to be demolished. You can't dictate and handcuff a CFL team and say you have to play 8 Canadian starters that aren't even good enough to be on the field. You can't, how are you going to grow your league? How are you going to get respect? How are you going to be perceived as a real professional football league? Okay? So, you know what? I know these changes got to be made, but still, if you people out there are so Canadian, you're so patriotic, right? Then why aren't you going to CFL games? Why are you watching all American football with a capital A, American 4-down NFL outdoor arena football? Because that's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. And we have to start supporting our own brands. You know, I heard a thing on Fox, the ladies like a week ago say, bring back, this is Americans on Fox, women saying bring back, and it was, I think there was on Fox and Friends, it was 4 of them, so 2 women, I think 2 men, whatever. It might have been an old program where there were more women, but anyway, there were mostly women saying this, and the men that were there actually agreed. And I don't know what program it was on Fox, but anyway, they said bring back BlackBerry, because BlackBerry was the greatest. BlackBerry, Canadian, invented the smartphone. bring back BlackBerry phones, BlackBerry, and you would sell them like hotcakes, I can guarantee you, and bring back the keyboard and the touch, and you had the highest resolution, you had the best software, best text messaging, best email, you had everything, like, because you own your own encryptment software, okay, that you bought from Nortel, actually, they had it, and like, I don't know if you ever sold it or not, but bring back BlackBerry phones, seriously. Anyway, this session's going fast, but I am right. Like, I am right. We have to start supporting our own brands. Our own brands. You go in the grocery stores, it's ridiculous. You see tea. People are so gullible and so stupid because of the Main Street bought off lying leftist media. Okay, and they're bought off with our money. Okay, and they see tea, and they have them brainwashed to think that, just like they have them brainwashed in football, to think that tea is Trump's tariffs. No, it's not. It's nothing to do with Trump's tariffs. That tea, and that which is misleading and a big lie and corrupt. It's corrupt, and they use it just to keep driving prices up and blame on Trump. No, it's Trump's tariffs are aluminum, steel, copper, going into the United States. Trump's tariffs are products going into the United States. Okay, has nothing to do with driving prices up here. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're rob us and making you believe that those teas that they got posted all over with the Canadian flag, all over our stores, trying to tell me what I should buy. And I bought Miller Beer the other day. I'll buy what I want to buy. Okay? Okay? If I want to buy American beer, I'm going to buy it. You're not going to tell me what to buy. And that doesn't make me less Canadian. That's just boycotting what you're doing, which is wrong. My sister come up with her husband. They spent money. They want me to get them Propeller beer, local beer in Nova Scotia and all of that. They didn't they got a quarter deck Somerville up in Queens County. Spent a lot of money right on the ocean. Probably cost them $350 a night. Spent a lot of money. Bought our seafood, bought lobster, bought everything. You know, spent money, and we take American products off the shelves. Can you imagine that? And boycott them and won't buy them. Are you kidding me? It's not Trump's tariffs. It's Carney's retaliatory tariffs. That's why he took them off. And they still drive prices up. And they're still everything CBC Global and CTV that are bought off with our money by the liberals. Okay, are making people believe, and they keep saying, "Oh, it's Trump's tariffs." No, it's not Trump's tariffs. You know what caused massive inflation? Massive immigration, massive crime in our country? The liberals in the last 10 years. Now you want 14 years of them? You know, you're getting what you voted for. And I don't even believe that the election was even straight up. I don't believe it. I believe they sabotaged Pierre Poilievre's seat. I know I'm getting it off, but it's part of it. It's part of it. And so, like if you're a real respectful Canadian, you use both sides of your brain that God gave you. I'll give you an analogy in stereo. Like if you had one speaker that went out, do you think you could listen to that? That's not stereo. That's the way they want you to use your brain, because they get all the media bought off. And in Canada, Pierre Poilievre basically had virtually no platforms. There's more independent, conservative platforms coming on board. But the majority of people, like the older people and everything, they watch CBC, although CBC only gets 3% population watching and CTV and Canada, so they're not watched. But the thing is, for many reasons, because they're basically not straight up. They're pushing the American. They don't give you both sides of the story. It's like the analogy I just told you. You know, like if you lie to 1,000,000 times a day, you're going to start believing it. You're using one side of your brain. You can't do that. You've got to use both sides of your brain in stereo to seek out the real truth. And I'm very saddened for Charlie Kirk, because he was a good man, and he gets murdered because he tells the truth. Okay, and imagine you go and tell the truth. And because what's happening, I don't want to get in. I think anybody with a brain can figure out why he was killed. And I really feel bad for his wife and his kids. He's 31 years old, and he was spreading a good message, and he really helped Trump get elected, because he got like 9 or 10% of the youth vote that wanted to hear what he had to say, and they actually had used their brain in stereo, and they weren't radicalized or leftists or brainwashed or nothing but CNN, ABC, and CBS and so forth. And Jimmy Kimmel, you deserve to be fired, by the way. You deserve to be fired. Should have been fired a long time ago for what you said about Charlie Kirk. But it's a very sad day, and it'll be a very sad day on Sunday at the funeral. There'll be almost 70,000 people there. I'm sure Trump will have a lot of protection, and snipers and drones everywhere and everything. But it's a very sad day. And Charlie Kirk was a good man, and he was a good man to get out the truth, and to tell the truth. And he had all the facts to back it up. He did his homework. He was a good man. We lost a good man, and he was a Christian man. That's probably why he got killed, because he was Christian, and probably because he was telling the truth. You know, you can't be Christian and tell the truth today. You get like Trump. That's why they try to kill Trump, because they know he was going to win, and he won the last time they stole the election from him. Everybody knows that. And that's why they tried to kill him twice. And are they going to try to kill him again, or are they going to try to kill Tucker or Megyn Kelly? Who knows? But you know, we're living in a very, very scary, corrupt, violent, criminal world, and you know who's the cause of all of it, and who caused all of it. And we have to speak out. We have to speak out. And very sad that Charlie Kirk's gone, but his legacy, and his wife said they're going to continue the Charlie Kirk movement and so forth. Let's hope so, and God keep these good people that we have on this planet safe, okay? And keep everybody safe at the funeral, Charlie Kirk's funeral, till on Sunday, please. Anyway, I'll be back on my next session. It's going to be on the Canadian ratio, and then on the Halifax Stadium situation. 3 this time. Spider, here comes Spider, CFL Red Zone Mole, but I had to get that off my chest. Okay? Take care. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.